There's much excitement among the elephants. A cow has just given birth, and the others close in to protect the little calf. It's still bewildered and unsure of its feet, but inside the forest of legs, it's safe. The grown-ups are encouraging it to stand. Until it does so, it won't be able to reach its mother's breasts. Stimulated by the cloudbursts, termites choose this night to make their nuptial flights. In response to the rains, the foam frogs launch their sexual orgies. Each female is joined by several smaller males which fertilize her eggs and help her make a nursery of froth. It's safer than consigning the tadpoles to the pool below, full of ravenous fishes. The heavy downpours produce another nocturnal event: catfish out of water. These fish were making a spawning run from the Zambezi into Mana's swollen streams. But the flash floods have suddenly subsided, leaving many of them stranded. As there are plenty of puddles, and the fish can gulp air, many will wriggle into one or other of Mana's many pools, where they'll breed. However, their long-term survival is a gamble. Most of the pools dry out when it gets hot. Most have made it into deep water by the time dawn has broken. The newborn elephant has survived its first night. It's still a little wobbly, so its mother has hung back while the rest of the troop has wandered off to feed. Soon, all the elephant families will migrate far inland to forage, so the calf has an arduous year ahead of it. Within a month or two, Mana begins to dry out. The big herds have gone, and for those that remain, the daily drink is now essential, especially for impala. The vegetation on which they and the baboons are now feeding is not as lush as it was, and so they need extra water. As the river is full of crocodiles, the pools seem to be a safer option as places to quench their thirst. Ever cautious, impala feel especially open to attack when they're drinking. This pool is now a shrinking refuge for an old male hippo. He once commanded his own stretch of the Zambezi, but he was banished from the river by younger bulls. Throughout the day, the pools act as fast food restaurants, busy with the comings and goings of hungry and thirsty animals. A female kudu joins the party. 2 months previously, bull elephants waded up to their bellies in this pool to reach the water hyacinths. Now the rafts of stranded weed are food for impala. It's rush hour for Lillian's lovebirds. Being seed eaters, they get virtually no moisture from their food, so they have to top up on water to complement their desiccated diet. After drinking, they'll spend the rest of the day in the bush. As the dry season gets underway and foliage starts to shrivel, the curious white acacia trees burst into leaf. As much of Mana's vegetation starts to wither, the acacias produce blossoms. But the baboons have their eyes on a different kind of tree. The Feast of Figs is their last great treat of the year. Fig trees are the last to bear fruit before the heat tightens its grip on Mana. Nothing is wasted. The climbers choose the juiciest ones. The less ripe fruit are discarded and devoured by the less enterprising animals on the ground. The older baboons know that they must take advantage of the bonanza of fruit while they have the chance, because there are lean times ahead. For the moment, the members of the troop are well fed and engage in social grooming, an activity which keeps even the most difficult to reach parts of their bodies clear of parasites. Mutual grooming also reinforces friendships between members of the troop. As it becomes drier, the baboons will need all their wits about them to scratch a decent living. But some creatures will do well. The lions of Mana won't have far to go to find their victims. Many antelope are commuting to the waterholes, but the absence of ground cover is a problem for the hunters. These prowlers, a lioness and her adolescent son, have been well and truly spotted. Waterbuck monitor the lions' movements, so they won't be taken by surprise, at least for the moment. The odds will be more in the lion's favor after the sun has gone down.